Hi folks, welcome to my channel. It's Saturday and day 27 of the 2018 Inktober challenge. Only 4 more days to go. Today though, the word prompt is thunder, and I think this prompt might have been a bit tricky for everyone doing Inktober. But with my animal theme, I discovered that a thunder is the name given to a group of hippos. So that's what I'm painting in ink today, a hippo. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment and subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell icon as well if you don't want to miss out on future videos. Okay, so on with today's painting, and I'm using my Ecoline inks, and I chose just 4 colours as well as black. So far as aims and techniques today, I didn't really have a plan as such, only that I was going to do the background first and keep it fairly simple. So I pre-wet my paper and dropped in a loose background using a mixture of sepia and grey ink, which made a good muddy colour for the water. Now I did think about trying 2 different techniques to add texture today, but luckily I tried them out quickly on a scrap piece of watercolour paper first, and neither one of the techniques worked particularly well. The first idea was to use cling film on top of the ink for the water, and I've done this using watercolour paint before on my Architects channel when I did a fun background for a drawing of Ariel the Mermaid, and it was really effective. But I think when I tried it with the ink had already started to dry before I could put the cling film on, so that wasn't going to work. The second idea was to add salt on the hippo's nose to lift small bits of ink and give a bit more texture. But when I tried this out on my scrap paper, the salt actually extended the drying time, and it's still not dry now, so I don't know what that's all about. That's something I'll have to investigate, as I may be able to use that to my advantage in another painting, but we'll see how long it takes to dry first. In the end though, it did mean that I painted this hippo in a rather more conventional way. So I used diluted grey ink on the hippo to begin with, and began by mapping out the light and dark areas on his back first, and using this light underpainting technique to show more clearly where the folds were in his neck. And I've done this in several of my paintings now, and I find it really simplifies the painting process. So you mark in the light and dark areas with a light wash, then you can concentrate on getting the right colours after that. So you're only tackling one thing at a time. And obviously this isn't the only way or even the right way, but it seems to work for me and might be worth a try if you have trouble matching values and colours at the same time, or maybe in a piece that has lots of folds or creases, as it can be easy to get lost if you're trying to render it perfectly as you go along. For the pinker colours on the hippo skin, I mixed pink beige with a tiny amount of vermilion, and this worked out to be just the colour I was after. I mixed this with the grey ink on the wet paper so that they could all bleed together really seamlessly. Then it was just a case of layering over the same sepia and grey mix I'd used for the water over the hippo's skin, as I could see as the painting progressed that he had brown tones in his skin as well as grey. Now there were a couple of areas I felt I struggled with on this piece today, the first of which was the mouth area, as in my reference photo it was so dark it was difficult to determine what was the hippo's mouth and what was the dark water underneath. And I think personally it's a mistake to draw or paint what you can't see or to guess. So I tried to match the same dark value as the reference photo and left it to the imagination. The other area I struggled with was the eyes. Now you know by now I love painting eyes, but in the case of this hippo, one eye was pretty hidden on the side of his face and the other was quite small without much detail, so painting the eyes today wasn't too exciting. That said, I did enjoy the way that this piece challenged me today, with the folds in the hippo's skin, the different textures on his nose and all that kind of thing, but I did like the way the shadows worked out and the colours layered to get a realistic skin tone. I also think that I've become more confident at tackling paintings with water in over the last month, as this used to be something I'd be really nervous of. So now I've just swapped over to a smaller, more detailed brush just to finish off doing the creases and also pop in his eye and some more details to his ears. And then it was just onto his nostrils and the front of his nose. And this is the area I was talking about where I couldn't actually see a lot of detail on my reference picture, but I think I kind of pulled it off, hopefully, because a lot of it was shadow from both his nose and also the water as well, but you couldn't actually see the sort of distinction between the two darkest areas there. So then I started to add a few of the highlights back in with my white gel pen, and some of those I applied just as small dots because I thought this would be more accurate for how the light was reflecting on it. I also added some splatters as well, just to kind of make it a little bit more interesting, and I did that with brown and grey ink. And then I just went in and almost did like a stippling effect on the front of his nose to give it a bit more texture. I decided not to do a background above the hippo in the end because I couldn't really decide what to do, and I didn't want to feel like I was doing something for the sake of it. So if you've got any suggestions of what I could do on the top, if you think it needs it, or if I should leave it as it is, then do pop a comment in the box below. Then I just added some white hairs and some black hairs with my fine liners and just touched up a few last details. But I did really enjoy this one. I hope you enjoyed watching the video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, comment and subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell icon as well so you don't miss out on any future videos, and I'll see you all again tomorrow.